The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hey everyone, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome back to another episode of Garthology. Today, we have a very special guest with us. I am certain all of you out there in the Garth world know of this person's merchandise, and we are so happy that she has joined us. I would like to introduce you to Missy from Black Octopus Mercantile. Yay!
Yay! Thank you for coming on, Missy. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for being here. We are so excited to talk to you about all of the BOM merchandise and everything Garth and Trisha. Like, this is everything I love. Clothes and Garth and Trisha.
Right?
Like, that's all I need in the world.
I understand how you could be any happier.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't.
I do need dogs.
Oh, and dogs.
Dogs,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's our list now. Shopping, dogs, food, Garth and Trisha.
There
That's
you go.
all I need. I'm done.
I love it. I love it.
So let's get this party started. We are going to go right over to Missy and just find out, how did this company start? How are we where we are today? Tell us all about your company and what you have to offer.
Well, Black Octopus started as kind of a whim. I was a graphic designer in the apparel industry here in Charleston, working for little companies that had, maybe $3 or $4 million accounts with Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
You just won Jess over. Jess is a huge Jimmy Buffett fan.
Caesar's Palace, fishing tournaments all over the world.
Oh.
I worked in screen printing promotionals, but that ended up working with big companies and brands here in Charleston, South Carolina, on the East Coast. And I just was a graphic designer doing kind of a staff artist gig. And I did it for about 37 and the plus moons. Kid feel the gray hairs popping. But I always thought, I used to tell my friends at work, I could have a surf brand. I could have a coast brand. I could do it. And I could make it a little bit different, that you don't have to slap a big old Charleston across your chest or, have a big old whatever, a big name drop going across. You could do it without that. You could sell the vibe, and you could sell good quality clothing, good design that would speak to a person. And if most people are traveling, we're a very touristy town here in Charleston. So a lot of people are looking for those kind of souvenir touristy things. I felt like I could design something. So I left what we called the day world in 2012. It was New Year's Eve. My husband came to get me my very last day of work. Nobody was there but just a ghost staff. And I said, see you, bye. And my husband said, no tears, don't cry. Pack your stuff, we gone.
That's how you do it.
That's a great hit.
Yeah, I started with a little local brand called Park Circle Local Brand, where I live here in North Charleston, which is just about 10 minutes outside of Charleston is North Charleston. And there's an area that's a re-emerging area called Park Circle. So I started with a little Park Circle local brand, and I was setting up at markets just within my community selling merch, local Park Circle local brand merch. And it sold out every time.
At that point, you didn't even have like a storefront. Were you just like a table and a chair?
Just a pop-up, and a tent. And I did that for long, long time and worked it downtown, did different things to kind of be crafty and creative. So anything I could do, I sold down to City Market. I was always hustling some next show, some next vibe. And then about 2016, we met my nephew, Drew Anderson. He owns a vinyl shop here in Park Circle called Gray Cat Music, and he's my nephew. We're just a year apart. So that's another podcast for another day, but it's quite a story. But Drew and I were doing a market together, and a lady walked by and she said, hey, what's this stuff? Looked at my stuff and said, what's this Park Circle? And we told her, and she said, I'm opening a new vendor mall in Park Circle. And we were like, you're crazy because you can't find any buildings. That lady's loon. Well, about 4 months later, she called and said, you and Drew you want to come and move into the station Park Circle and be vendors. And we thought that was just insane.
Awesome.
And we were both doing markets and all that together. And he's the record guy and I'm the clothing guy. So we would set up together. Well, she let us set up together in the booth. So we shared a booth for the first year and a half. And then after that, we decided it's time to brand. So we rebranded and became Black Octopus. It took me about a year to get everybody on board because everybody was used to Park Circle local brand. So they're like, what's Black Octopus? I'm like, that's us. We just knew, and we have tentacles and we do all kinds of fun stuff.
So how did you come up with the name? Is that how the tentacles?
Yeah, the tentacles. Black was the very first Park Circle shirt we ever printed, was black ink on a gray shirt. So black. I went to a loan class here that's loans to people like me who can't go to a traditional lender like a bank or something.
Right.
They do private loans for commercial. They're like commercial people who have a lot of money, but they lend to people like me who can't get commercial traditional loans. So creative types. I went to a class and the man said, when you rebrand and pick your name, pick it from your heart. Make it something people go, WTF, what is that? I'm sorry, I said WTF. But
No,
That's all right. No problem. I've done way worse. Yeah, don't worry about that.
But they said it should, when you say it in a minute, you should be like, oh, okay, that's really weird, but I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah.
And so black was the first shirt we ever printed. Octopus is to represent my husband, Jim, who's retired from the Navy. Thank you for your service to everybody, because we know how it is and we love y'all.
Yep.
And Jim is who we call Mr. Black Octopus. It's kind of a joke. He's the behind the scenes guy. And he's the one who, convinced it was time for me to leave the day world, as we called it, and go out into the realm and explore the wilds as my own business.
I love that he had faith in you that way and was like, you can do this.
It took a long time to convince him I could do it. And now he, comes over to the shop all the time and hangs out. And then so Octopus is for him. And also in my work as a graphic designer, I was designing a lot of octopus, and most of my people would turn them down. They're like, people aren't going to buy anything with an octopus on it. Are y'all crazy? I mean, what are you drinking? I have a whole shop now filled with octopus stuff. And then Mercantile, because I wanted us to be a surf, like kind of destination brand. So just for South Carolina and online, Deb, but a Surf Coast brand.
Yeah. So you have a storefront now, an actual store, but you also sell online. So what is that website address where people can find your goods if they're not in South Carolina?
And it's a really small one right now, because remember, I'm just a one octopus show. Don't listen to Garth Brooks, because he didn't know that I was the one octopus show. So, and yes, Garth, I have turned the website back on for you. It's www.blackoctopusmerch.com. blackoctopusmerch.com. So bear with me, as Deb knows, it's a small little website right now. So,
and the reason that I know that is because this is how Missy and I got hooked up and scheduled this podcast. Is I was at Garth's June 4th Las Vegas show, and he was wearing a Black Octopus merch shirt. And I absolutely loved it. Like, I fell in love with it. It was this camo. It had like the longitude and latitude on the arm. And I just loved the design on the front. And I was certain that Missy was at that show because Garth made a indication to a person that was up near the front. He kind of shook his sleeve of his shirt. He pointed to that person and he waved. And so I was convinced that Missy was there, and he was saying, yes, I'm wearing your shirt. And I loved the shirt so much. When the show was over, I reached out to Missy and said, are you at the show tonight? And by the way, how do I get that shirt? Because I love it. And it turns out she wasn't even at the show. He was indicating it to someone else.
But somebody may have had BOM on, because I did have some orders before the last few weeks before all of that. People have been ordering to wear to Vegas, which is funny.
Awesome.
And very nice. Thank you to everybody that did that.
Yeah. And I went on there to do it too and couldn't find that camo shirt. And that's why I reached out to say, it's not on your website and I want it. And so that's how we got hooked up. It was fate is what it was, because here we are today.
I agree.
So that topic leads me into the next one. So here we are. We're talking about Black Octopus Mercantile, and now we lead into Garth Brooks. So as I mentioned, he was wearing BOM merchandise at the show on June 4th. So how did that happen? How did we get where we are today? How is Garth wearing BOM?
Garth is wearing BOM because when we became Black Octopus a few years ago, a friend said, you need to get it out to the masses. So why don't you send it to your favorite music crush? And that would be Mr. Brooks. And he was
mine too.
Yeah. But then there's that Miss Yearwood, we dig her too.
Yeah.
A lot. She's amazing. I sent him a box. I just sent it, to the office in Nashville. I'm sure they hated me because I sent a couple boxes, but I couldn't fit everything in the box. And I just couldn't pick one thing to send him. I wanted him to feel like our catalog we were just kind of starting to put a line together. So I wanted him to have enough to kind of play with because, he didn't have the flip bar and he didn't have all that like he does now.
Right.
He had his, GB merch and all that we all love. And I wear it like you all have seen on the Garth boards and stuff. But I just sent him a box or two. There might be a third. There may have been a fourth. And then, like I told you, I saw it in Knoxville. That's the first time when he went on to the news to apologize about Knoxville. And he was talking and he's wearing the Sevens, the cinch purple shirt with the Black Octopus flagship shirt, which was our very first flagship shirt for Black Octopus. So he's wearing that. I almost passed out.
Yeah, I bet.
Freaking out. I think it was late and I was freaking out. What a gift, People get up in the morning. I feel this way about everybody. If you all wore our stuff, and Deb's going to be wearing something very soon, you get up and you pick something out of your closet and you're just like, what? You put something on, you walk out into the world and you're wearing something that someone made.
Yeah.
It's not a big producer. It's just me. I'm in my little studio in my shop, printing and drawing and designing and creating, not creating specifically for Garth and Trisha, but just creating specifically for everybody.
Okay, wait, I have to stop us right here. So are you telling me that every one of those items you handmade?
I print everything, yes.
You do?
Clothing and blanket.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I make notebooks and I make all the other stuff.
Wow.
So even in talking to you, I didn't realize that because like we talked about, I do sublimation printing on shirts and I've kind of branched out into keychains and things, but I didn't realize that everything on that. I knew you were small, but I thought that meant you had a producer that you just weren't getting a lot of, putting a lot in. And so it is all you.
It is all, yep. One octopus show.
Wow.
Oh
my goodness.
Gosh.
Missy, the Black Octopus.
Well, you aptly chose the octopus then too, because you need those 8
you need all
arms.
those things. Yeah.
I know. Woo! Yeah,
Wow.
I don't drink, just like Garth. I don't drink and I don't do drugs. I'm just happy. I live a happy existence in this world. And I always wanted my own thing. I told my brother not too long ago, someone said, my God, why would you sign your life away to rent a building, have a shop? You can't go on vacation. You can't do anything. I'm like, but it's not like it is. And my brother is good. He explained it like your work is different than other people's work. Sometimes people do work that they hate and it's not fun and it's torturous. Yours is a happy place, Yeah. I mean, he came to Charleston over the weekend and he walked in our shop. We were having a huge party and we had a ton of people in, and he was like, oh my God. And he was joking. He goes, is Garth here? Because there's so many people. Where's Trisha? And I'm like, no, sir, they're not here.
Wow.
But we saved him food.
I was impressed already going into this, but now I'm just
thank you.
over the moon. I just cannot, just because I know how hard it is just for me at Christmas time to make Christmas gifts for family and friends. I can't imagine doing this 365 days a year and making an entire store out of it. That is
crazy.
So
Hey,
much.
can we get on their waiting list to have a Garthology something
Right.
for the three of us?
I don't really do that kind of custom stuff, but maybe we will have to do something. I did something for my OBX friends, so we might have to do something.
Oh.
So OBX, is that?
Outer Banks on Netflix. Their third largest streaming show of all time.
Tell us how that started and how you're tied into OBX.
I had the place at the station that I was telling you about, the booth, and I was doing pop-ups, and I was doing a pop-up at another like vendor mall, not far from where they film in Folly Beach, South Carolina. And some people called, they sent an email and they said, we have a new show and we're shooting a pilot and we'd like to work with you. We're just blown away by your work. And so then they continued to send me emails because I thought it was a joke, much like the Garth and Trisha thing. I just didn't believe it. You know, I'm just a pop-up. Why would anybody want to work with me, let alone someone from TV? So it took about 5 emails and the Netflix credentials to be sent over for me to figure it out, my stupid self, that there really is a show and there is a pilot and they're waiting on me to say yes. And there's not going to take no for an answer. And they said, how is it that you're channeling the mind of a 14, 16-year-old beach kid? And I'm like, because I wasn't born and raised here in Charleston, but my mother is Southern and I was raised Southern. And I spent my summers in the coast, down at the Keys with my aunt and uncle. So I'm a coast kid, born and raised. But that's the funny part. I didn't believe it. And they were like, how do you channel the mind of a 16-year-old beach kid? I'm like, because that's what I am. I just didn't quite grow up that way, but I've always been younger. I'm 58 years old, but I rock it like as fast and as hard as everybody else.
That's the way to do it.
I'm totally blown away by Allie Colleen and her hustle.
Oh, yeah.
Doing her Facebook videos in her back bedroom when she was just years ago before everything. Yeah. And looking at Allie and that girl's got it.
Yeah.
Watching her just makes me just, like she can do it. I can do it.
Yeah. Gives you all that
and
energy.
I'm way older. I mean, I'm 1,000 years older than she is. That young woman is the most crazy talent. And I just am blown away by people that hustle. Mm-hmm. You know, the hustle is what inspires and keeps that creativity. And I guess I wasn't so much driven that, whoa, Garth's wearing our stuff. It was bad. So cool. And so rad that he's wearing our stuff. But it was like the hustle of making the stuff for him. Like it started like, okay, what will Garth wear? You know, what would I do? And I don't really set things up for OBX or set things up for Garth, but things kind of come together. So then you're like, whoa, you know, the Pokes could be wearing this, even though they don't, because Volcom, I guess, has the contract with OBX. So they dictate what they wear, but they don't dictate what stickers and hats and shirts can be laid across beds, stuck on everything. They were just in the shop, OBX, 2 weeks ago, and they dropped some big coin on new stuff for the new season.
That's amazing for you. I'm so excited for you.
And then the same weekend, there's Garth wearing this hoodie, T-shirt in Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
That's my hustle, and that's what makes me happy, to see those things happening.
But you know what? You keep doing you, because that's flipping amazing. Like, I am all about the hustle as well, and that's just like hearing it like that is just, it warms my heart. That's so, so awesome.
Well, and I'm being creative. I'm fed by, I love what y'all are doing. I love what Allie's doing. I love what Garth and Trisha, like, look at what the boy did today.
Right?
Holy crap. The worldwide, taking our music to the world. But anyway, I've been very blessed, and knock on the wooden desk. I've been very blessed that Mr. Brooks likes our stuff, and Miss Yearwood, obviously. And
yes,
they've been just amazing. And OBX has been amazing. A lot of people don't know the connections to all of that, but Allie loves OBX. I know that.
My daughter does too. My daughter and my son, they don't stop watching it. It's like new season comes out, it's an all-nighter. They just over and over and over again on that show.
My husband's cleaning their tank that they're filming in tomorrow. He's a pool man, so he's cleaning their pool tank that they put on the studio set for tomorrow's filming. So he'll be on set tomorrow with them, taking care of the tank between sets all day. So it's fun. He gets to play with them too.
What is their filming season?
They film from now. They started Monday until December. They'll be here till Christmas.
Okay.
And then they leave, and then we'll see the show sometime next year, probably next fall, I would guess.
All right. So I love the OBX stuff, and I'm super excited to hear that. But let's go back, because I kind of cut you off, which I tend to do because I'm super excited about all this. So let's go back to Garth and Trisha. So one of the stories that Missy told me was about a special, I don't know, package maybe that you got. So can you tell us about that?
I had sent Trisha and Garth a gift, and they sent me a gift back, and just the sweetest card that was signed by both of them, and thanked me for the Black Octopus merch, and full of Trisha goods and cookbooks, dog treats.
Oh my goodness.
she knows we've got 5 dogs. I love her pet company, the TY Pet, and sent Garth merch. And I have had a few friends. I hope they aren't upset, but I haven't worn everything because I don't wear all the sizes. So I dispersed it to some friends who don't get to travel as much and don't have a lot of money to spend on merch, so they could have some of it too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that was really cool.
I don't want to name names, but they know who they are.
Oh.
That's so sweet.
So it was fun to share G merch and T merch with the family. So
That's amazing that Garth and Trisha even put you in the position to be able to do that. That's so super cool.
yeah, I've met Trisha like we talked about, but never met him. And I've talked to him a couple times on FaceTime, but I look forward maybe someday to meeting him. You never know. I want to meet her again too. Together, be amazing. I know they don't do that right now, but hopefully one day we can hug necks and say hey. And I'd love to take some merch to Vegas, but I know they told me you can't. So I can't, take merch and pass it up to the States or anything, or give it to Brian. Sam.
But if you take merch and I'm there, I'll just throw it through the door. Show him, you got to get it to him. And you just huck it over the balcony real quick and then run.
I'm so excited for Vegas. I can't wait. I know y'all have been, and it's going to be fun.
I'm the only one so far that's been. Pete and Jess haven't gone yet. I've gone twice. Pete and I are about to go in July, and Jess has to wait a year.
I have to wait. But next year
it's going to be a well-oiled machine.
100 and something days for me to go. So I'm ready.
Exciting.
I'm excited. That's so fun. But thank you. Shouts to Garth and Trisha and Brian. I've been a vendor on Talk Shop Live, so that's a really cool experience to get to sell product next to your crushes and the loves of music and all of that. To say I sell on the same platform that Garth and Trisha sell on is really, Talk Shop Live is an amazing outlet for businesses to grow and build. I'm not much because I don't want my chubby cheeks on the screen for everything, but I have done it because Brian and Tina and Cassie, everybody have been really sweet to me and encouraged. It's a no judge zone for sure, but I definitely get a little nervous getting on there.
I would too.
Chubbing the cheeks out. Yeah, it's a lot to get out. But you think about Trisha does it and Garth does it. It's kind of fun, I get to be up there with Dolly Parton and right along with them. Everybody gets treated the same, which I love. I love that. I love that we have all these connections, all of us, to Garth and Trisha.
Right. And it all starts with them and just flows out from there.
Yeah, it really does.
The great thing is that they make themselves available for that. It all starts from them, but they don't close themselves up, right? They open those roadways and and those little rivers to reach to the fans that allow us to do things like this and what you're doing. It's awesome.
They do. And I know if I ever meet them again on this end of it, I'm grateful for them. They gave me some confidence. I mean, when people write you from all over and ask about your clothing or your designs or whatever, or someone not too long ago just messaged me from the Garth boards and said, you really should be designing. I mean, we love Crom and the team. I love the Crom and the team that are designing for Garth that have all these years brought all this amazing merch to us fans. But they said, man, Crom needs to hire you. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Crom's doing they're doing their thing, and Garth's team is amazing, and I love all the products and goods that we get to wear and buy and share and love. But I'm doing my own thing. I'm on my dream journey right now with BOM. I mean, how many people can say you have Garth Brooks, waking up in the morning and putting on your clothes, or Trisha Yearwood,
right?
And anybody, Garth fans, Garth friends, believers, all of us. I love that. And thank you for that to whoever listens. Thank you for wearing BOM and digging not just the Garth and Trisha, but just the whole vibe of love and sharing good things and great clothes.
Very, very well said. That's awesome.
Yes, That's perfect. Well, I think that's the perfect note to end this on. I just absolutely have loved getting to talk to you. I love your merchandise. I'm just flabbergasted at the idea that you do all this, the designing and the making on your own. I'm certain I know you have your husband works behind the scenes. I just am just blown away that you do the actual making yourself. I can't get over it.
An entire next level of respect for you, for sure. And the way that you carry yourself and how humble you are about it, that, these people say you should go to this Crom or, and you're doing your thing in your dream. And that's what makes you happy. And the conversations that we've had just a super privilege to have got to know you. I'm glad that you came on the podcast, and I can't wait to continue this friendship going forward. I'm super, super stoked for you.
Well, Sydney sizes.
Yeah.
I'm notorious, in case you haven't heard, for sharing. So.
Well, and Pete and I, we only live like 3.5 hours from Vegas. So
Yeah.
November, I don't know. That's not very far away. I'm just saying we could show up.
I have to bring a bigger bag.
Get a U-Haul truck.
All right. Well, thank you, Missy, once again for joining us. And don't forget to check out Missy's website to see all of those personally made goods. She can be found at www.blackoctopusmerch.com. That's www.blackoctopusmerch.com. Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today. Check out our latest episodes and bonus content. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. Hey, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, can you stop by there now? Give us a rating if you like what you hear, and write a quick review just to encourage others to listen. And be sure and share us with everyone you know. That way you can help your friends in low places become garthologists too.
And speaking of friends in low places, if you are on social media, you can find us at our socials. On Facebook, we are at www.facebook.com/GarthologyCast. On TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, we are at GarthologyCast there. We love the interaction. We love the likes, the shares, the tweets, the retweets, and anything else you want to do there. So please keep interacting with us there, and we love the support. So thank you very much.
You can hear our new episodes of Garthology on the 7th, 17th, and 27th of each month. So please join us for our next episode. Until then,
thank you for joining us for another episode of Garthology. And I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Let Missy say bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Finish it! Finish it!
Bloopers. So now I think we're ready to go ahead and tie it into Garth and Trisha.
Who?
wait, what are we here for?
Wait, who? Wait, I know those names sound familiar.
They kind of sound.
What's the last name again?
That Mr. Yearwood guy, yeah.
So here we are. We're talking about Black Octopus. I don't know why the word octopus sticks in my mouth.
Octopus.
I just said a boo-boo.
That's all right. Pete does it all the time.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Trust me, I'm holding back right now. You're getting me all excited. I'm about ready to pop off the F word. Yeah, we're going to get crazy up in this thing.